So since yoga is as yoga does, I'm going to now do with you a few of my favorite office stress busters. How's that sound? Everybody sit up nice and straight. Okay, take a check on the body. And we're going to just start by getting yourself breathing appropriately. Put your hands right up here on your shoulder blades. I want you to bring your elbows together, pick them up, stretch them out, and bring them down. Oh, how does that feel? How do you breathe when you do that? Who can tell me how you're breathing? When do you breathe in? Right. Elbows up and out. It picks the rib cage right up, stretches it out, and bring it down. Oh, now put your hands on your knees. Take a deep breath. Let it out. It's nice to let it out with a sound. When you're really stressed out, that's what they tell pregnant ladies to do in delivery. Is that right, Mirabai? You breathe in and you let it out and you sigh it out, or you groan it out, or try it again. It's kind of like the lion pose. Now let's do it the opposite way. How did we do it before? We brought the elbows in. This time you bring the elbows out, up, in, and down. Out, up, in, and down. Now, these are things, I used to work in an office in Montreal, and I sort of trained all my coworkers to get used to the fact that they might come to the front desk and find me sitting there doing something like this. We used to also we had this big 6-foot-long desk, and they would occasionally find me in Savasana under the desk. Where is she? Oh, yeah, she's on the floor in Savasana under the desk. It's good to train people, and then they'll get in the habit of stretching with you. So that's a primo stress buster because it gets you breathing and stretching at the same time. Okay, now I want you all to stand up for a moment. Just stand in place. And just stretch straight up with your thumbs crossed. As you breathe out, let your shoulders fall down. And as you breathe in, pull up again. Let your arms come down. And stand for a moment with your feet apart and just make some loose, sloppy movements like this. Right? Let your head go. Let your body go. Now this basically is a backward bending pose. Pulls the chest up, expands the rib cage, and gets you breathing again. One of my very, very favorite stress busters is simply a standing forward bend. Those of you who can, who don't have a chair in front of you, or those of you who can, position yourself. Just do this. Stretch out and down, and let your body just hang. Breathe up and down your spine, and feel the weight of your head very gently stretching out your spine. Anyone who can maintain a high degree of stress while standing in this position for a minute or two at a time really has to be trying. No kidding. I mean, this cuts through the physical manifestations of stress so very effectively. As you breathe into it, literally the nervous system itself, the nerves in the spine, are being stretched out in such a way that it's very difficult to maintain that tensed up feeling that stress causes, right? You can slowly stand back up. A couple other real nice ones are just to lock your thumbs and stretch straight to the side. Cuts right through driving to satsang and being late, working with a new wireless lavalier microphone. Okay. Why don't you all sit down and just put your hands on your knees for a moment. Take a deep breath. Could also just breathe very slowly out the nose. Now, it's a good idea to practice a little office yoga or work yoga at regular intervals throughout the day. If you have one of those watches that can be programmed to beep once an hour, those can be a very, very good way of allowing yourself to remember to cut through stress on a regular basis. Set it for a time, maybe not on the hour, maybe 15 minutes into the hour, if for any reason the hour itself can be a time when you need to be, interacting with other people. But if it goes out, try to take a minute and just do a stretch. Break up the tension, right? Or if you can't, if you're in the boardroom in the middle of a stressful meeting, you can remember to take a full minute to do deep 3-part breathing. When you are in a state of active stress and you don't have the luxury of leaving the situation that's causing the stress, right? To do those stretches, I don't really recommend it right in the middle of a major sales presentation at IBM. They might not quite understand it. You can train your office mates, but there are some situations where it just will not go over so well. Deep breathing, however, is something that can be done pretty much any time that you can remember to do it. So if you can set your watch to beep once an hour and take a deep breathing break, you can remember to cut through the physical manifestation of stress regularly throughout the day. Now, stress takes a terrible toll over time on the adrenals and the immune system, and also on the glands. The adrenals are, of course, an important part of the glandular system. And Hatha Yoga very definitely massages and tones up the glands, as well as stretching the spine and the nervous system. You could say that the nervous system is like the electrical system in the body, and the glands are like the great chemical regulators in the body. And both of them have a very direct effect on the mind and the emotions. Through the regular practice of Hatha Yoga, you build up the strength of the nervous system and tone up the functioning of all your adrenals so that you have, you might say, a lot of reserves against stress reaction and a lot of repair happening for the negative effects that stress has had on your body. So Hatha is both preventive and curative of the effects of stress. Anyone who has any kind of stressful situation in their life really would do so well to be doing Hatha Yoga every single day, as well as pranayama and deep relaxation. In deep relaxation, the body can consciously relax through all the different sheaths, right? As you probably know, as many of you know, you don't have one body, you have 5. You have 5 different levels of physical and more subtle energy. The body made up of food, your breath or vital body, and the more subtle bodies of the emotions, the subtle reasoning mind, and a body composed of bliss. And those all cover the inner light. In deep relaxation, you first tense and release the physical body. Then you watch the breath and relax the breath body. And then you watch the mind and start to relax your mental bodies. And then you turn around and observe that state of peace or the bliss body that is always inside you, underlying your thoughts. So you could say you relax your way right straight through all your 5 buddies to experience your true nature, which is peace, happiness, and joy. Now let me ask you a question. If you knew at every moment of your life that your true nature is peace and happiness and joy, do you think that you would be stressful? Probably it would be like a big movie show, and it would all be for fun, right? You would be Indiana Jones, the star of the show. Throw me in a snake pit. Wow, this is really exciting. You know how you love to watch a movie like that? You're at the movie and you're so identified with Indiana Jones, and he's running away from the villains, and you know that the only thing he's afraid of is snakes, right? You know that from earlier on in the movie. The guy is totally fearless except for snakes. You come to the scene where he gets thrown into a pit, and he feels something moving, and he lights a torch, and he's in a complete snake pit, wall-to-wall snakes, with his girlfriend. The only thing he's afraid of. And it's so much fun. You're on the edge of your seat. You think, wow, this is a great movie. Because you're identified with him, and it's so exciting. But there's that distance, right, of knowing that it's just a movie. Then you go out to the parking lot. I think I stole the story from Paramount. You can tell me if I did. And you have a flat tire. And you go, oh, I have a flat tire. It's 11 o'clock at night. Right, flat tire. Compared to a snake pit, this is nothing. Flat tire. In downtown Charlottesville, you can get a tow at any time. Right? In the movie, it was so much fun to be identified with the hero because you knew it wasn't real. But the flat tire at 11 o'clock in a Charlottesville parking lot is a total bummer because you think it's real. Because you think it's you. That's experience.